Good morning, students. Welcome to the next session of your computer classes, dated 29th of September 2020. We had completed up to chapter number 6 and we are being left out with only 2 chapters. In the meantime, we have been given that we should revise the chapters which we have covered for a revision purpose as well as from the point of view of the preparation for the examinations. We are not saying that the exams are coming right now, but still we should revise the content so that in case if anybody has been missed out the initial part of your classes can revise or can go through the topic once again. And for the rest of the others who have attended that will be a revision part. So with the revision of we are starting with our chapter number 1 and chapter number 2. The name of the chapter number 1 is a computer system. Students, what is a computer system? We are talking about the complete system which comprised of a desktop, a CPU, a UPS, a keyboard, a mouse, a complete system, and they all are an electronic machine. So what is a computer? Computer is an electronic machine that works under our given instruction. That means whatever command, whatever instruction is being given by me to the computer, computer follows it, computer understands it, computer evaluates it and provides an output or a result to that instruction or the command which I have given. So what is a computer? Computer is an electronic machine which can be used for the different purposes. Now it is a multi-functional purpose. That means it has multiple functions, or you can say it can be used at multiple places. Computers can be used in offices, can be used at home, can be used at school, can be used at hospitals. So as you can see, it can be used in factories. It has a multiple uses or areas of field of implementation. Basically, a computer works on IPO cycle, which is input, processing, and output. That means input, what we give. We give instructions, we give command, we give data, etc. to the computer. Then computer processes it. Or you can say evaluates. And after that, it produces a result which is displayed. So what it does, it takes the command, it takes the instructions from the user, or let's say from me. Right now I'm the user right now. Okay, then it evaluates, then it produces a result which can be displayed on your desktop or can be taken out as a print from your printer. So this 3-step process is known as your input or IPO cycle. That is input, processing, output. And every machine follows this IPO cycle to work. The examples have been mentioned on your book itself. Now, what are the different parts used for doing or used for performing these steps? That what are the parts which will do the functions, or which will do the input section, which will processing, and which will be output? We will be discussing about this. For providing input, basically we use keyboards, mouse, That means keyboard, which is a most commonly and most usually method of providing input to the computer, contains keys. We have discussed this in your chapter number 5, where we studied about the different keys. So keyboard, by using these keys, we type, or we say we provide instruction to the computer. So for basically input devices, keyboard, mouse, we can have the different type of scanners also, but for a healthy example, for initial phase of example, we will say keyboard and mouse. Similarly, for processing, we use CPU, that is Central Processing Unit, which is the brain of your computer, which does all the works of thinking, evaluating, or processing. Okay, and it contains 3 units. In CPU, we have 3 units. One is your arithmetic logic unit, known as ALU, which do the works of, let's say, calculations like addition, subtraction, comparison, and all. Secondly, we have a control unit, CU, which controls all the working of the computer, when or where we have to receive the data, from where we have to receive or take the value, something like that. Okay, what part has to process, what has not to be processed, all these is being controlled by, or you can say the working of the computer is being controlled by using control unit. Then we have MU, that is memory unit, where we store the data values which may be used for further processing, which may be used for further calculation, or which may be used for further any other use. Before calculating or before processing, computer stores the data in its memory, which is your memory unit, in which computer stores the data, and as per its requirement, it receives or it takes back or retrieve the values from the memory unit. All this work is being controlled by control unit, and the calculation, comparison, and the processing work is done by ALU, the arithmetic and logical unit. Then for output, the most widely used example is your monitor, that is the screen, LED screen or LCD screen, or your cathode ray tube. Okay, so these monitor serves the best example of your output, that is on monitor or the screen, the output, the result of the processing is shown, is displayed. And we have another one also. One is your printer. The content, the data which is stored in the computer is known as soft copy of the data. Okay, similarly, if you have taken out a printout, that is, you have printed that content over a page, that printout is known as hard copy. So again, for the comparison part, we have 2 things: soft copy, hard copy. Soft copy is the content stored in the computer, which can be retrieved and which can be displayed on your monitor, can be used at any time using the system. Hard copy is the hard output, printed output, which you take on a paper by using the device known as printer. After that, we will have the functioning of the IPO cycle, that is how the function performs. So if I am not rubbing it out, the computer system receives the instruction or command by using the keyboard, which is supplied to the central processing unit. Its input, which you have given through using keyboard or mouse. Then This input is stored in your memory unit, being controlled by control unit, which controls the memory unit, as well as ALU, that is arithmetic logical unit. From the memory unit, the content is received by ALU for processing. Once it has processed, the result is stored again in memory unit. Once the result is also stored in memory unit, it is being supplied to the output device and being displayed on the monitor. Again, from the keyboard or the mouse, that is from the input device, we receive input. The input is stored in memory unit. As I told you, before going for any processing, the computer will store the data in memory unit. This is the memory unit. The data is being received by the ALU or the ALU for processing. All this work is being controlled by control unit. Once the processing is done, if the resultant is generating, it will be transferred to the output unit, that is monitor, where it is displayed, and printer, where it is being printed out. I think the topic is clear up to this. Now, we will consider or we will discuss about the advantages of the computer. What are the advantages? If we have a computer, what is the advantage of having a computer? Now, what is the advantage? The first is computer have a very high speed. The calculations, the work or the calculations which we perform takes time. Might be 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But as well as those calculation, if thousands of calculation is being performed by the computer in milliseconds, in just fraction of time. So computer has a very high speed in calculation. That means the work which we or the human will take time to perform, computer performs that work in very less time. Secondly, it can do a lot of work, that is amount of work. If a human, let's say example me, if I'm working for 5 hours, 6 hours, I may get tired. And I will take a rest. But computer, it doesn't take a rest. It is capable of working 24 hours. So, amount of work. Computer can do a lot of work without getting tired or bored. Third, the result produced by the computer is accurate. That is accuracy. The answer generated by the computer is correct, is accurate. If the applied formula, if the given instructions are correct, the resultant, the output will be always 100% correct. That means computer is accurate. Fourth, storage. Computer can store a huge amount of data. It is capable of storing lots of book. It is capable of storing lots of data, which might be we are not capable. So a computer has a huge amount of data which can store either in the form of text, document, audio, video, games, picture, any of the format. It is capable of storing all those. And fifth one is versatility.